Greetings, Sir Shrimpington here, and welcome to Ultima Online Outlands. Today we will be talking about all the different skills you can train in Outlands, how to train them, where to train them, and most importantly, why to train them. So grab a soda, sit back, relax, and enjoy as you consume this video, which is entitled Sir Shrimpington's Guide to Outlands Skills. Where to train them, why to train them, how to train them, what to train them, and who to train them. Let's go! Alright, little Timmy, welcome to Shelter Island, where you will be training rigorously up to level 80 in any skills you choose. Now tell me, do you know what you want to be when you grow up?
Well, I want...
Great! So let's open our skills menu and take a look at what Outlands has to offer. Now, Outlands is a sandbox game that gives you all the freedom in the world to mix and match any skills you choose. Want to be an unkillable tank with maxed out defensive skills? You can. Want to be a mage that steals from dungeon chests? You can. Want to be a blacksmith that has a hobby of cooking, but also wants to teach his son swordsmanship and must hide his true secret identity of being a malicious necromancer? You can.
I want to be a necromancer.
Hang on there, little Timmy. Before we can do anything, we'll need to make sure that the arrows for the skills you want to level are pointed upwards to allow that skill to grow. If the arrows are pointed downwards, then that skill will start to decrease to let your other skills level up once you reach the skill cap of 700. Once you've reached your desired level in a skill, you can spam click this arrow until it becomes a padlock. That will stop the skill from changing at all.
Can we start training now? Shh. But
Alright, let's start training. We'll go through each of the skills one at a time using the predefined groups that Outlands starts you with. If yours looks different to mine and you're unsure, just click this Reset Groups button at the top to get everything back in order. Oh, and you can make your own custom groups here at the bottom. Name it whatever you like, and drag your own skills into here. It's great for listing out your own builds. Let's kick things off with the miscellaneous category. Arms Law. Each weapon in Outlands, whether you're using a bow, sword, mace, or any other weapon in the game, has a weapon special attack. Each weapon special is different, so sword users have a chance to inflict bleed effects, but mace users have a chance to inflict piercing effects. Don't worry about it too much right now, we'll go into each weapon's special attacks later on. Arms Law increases your chance of inflicting these special weapon attacks. Neat. Arms Law also increases the speed at which your weapon ability meter will fill up. Weapon abilities are found in your weapon's respective codex, but again, don't worry about that right now, we'll get there, I promise. Arms Law gives you a bonus to your weapon's swing speed, so you'll be coming at your target like a crazy person, hopped up on those pills your unemployed friend gave you at that party. You saved them for later, but now you regret taking them right before your big important meeting. Anyway, there are also two special mechanics that Arms Law gives you access to: Disarming and Hamstringing. Disarming can only be accessed via Arms Law, and can be used in PvE to make the monster you're fighting take more damage. It can also be used in PvP to knock an enemy player's weapon right out of their hand and into their backpack. Take that, you varlet! Hamstringing can be accessed by multiple skills, as you can see here. In PvE, Hamstringing will entangle the target for 6 seconds, which means that they cannot move, but they can still attack you. In PvP, Hamstringing reduces your target's stamina to 0 for 3 seconds, which forces them to walk for the duration. After the 3 seconds are up, their stamina will be replenished back to where it was. So as you can see, Arms Law is quite a versatile skill. No wonder it's so popular amongst Dexa players. To level Arms Law, just hit stuff with your weapon. It's really a piece of cake. Begging. Please, Stephanie, take me back. No, I swear I won't. Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. So, begging. This skill is great if you enjoy the salty smell of the sea. Use begging on NPC crew members found in towns around Outlands to convince them to join your crew. You'll still need to pay them some doubloons to get them on your ship, but you don't want to be sailing on the pirate-infested waters without some ship hands. Trust me. Begging can also be used while out on the water to motivate your crew. Motivated crewmates will deal bonus damage. Get to work, you darn miscreants. Hoist the mooring line. Or something. I don't know, I'm not a sailor. Finally, begging can be used on NPCs for a chance to gain 5 gold. That's right. Who needs dangerous dungeons when you can just ask other people for money? To level begging, simply walk around begging for money from everyone you see. You'll be the talk of the town. Camping. Possibly one of the most versatile skills in the game, camping allows you to lay out at night and dream of all the aspect cores that you won't be getting as drops in your next dungeon run. Also, camping increases your maximum carry capacity, as well as the maximum number of total items you can carry in your backpack. This is great for carrying more gold out of dungeons. At level 60, camping gives you the ability to hike around the Outlands map. Simply light a fire, wait till it's secure, open up your atlas and travel wherever you like. All of these atlas waypoints are unlocked by default, so there's no need to go around unlocking anything. And you can even set up your own custom waypoints to teleport to. Camping also increases your base weapon damage in both PvE and PvP, so it's great to take on any character you like. Finally, camping lets you set up a bedroll next to a secure campfire and log out there without any worries. Camping can be leveled by staring into the flames of any player-lit campfire. Just stand there and watch as the flames spread, devouring the kindling that you so lovingly prepared earlier. Cartography. Do you like making maps, little Timmy?
I want necromancy to bring back my grandpa.
Great! Cartography can be used to make maps, decipher research materials, resource maps, and treasure maps. You can even use it, just like camping, to hike to different areas in your atlas. As a cartographer, you can also craft explorers packs, which give you buffs whilst on land or at sea. Simply click on your explorer pack whilst on land to gain a bonus to your damage and damage resistance against creatures that guard treasure map loot or attack trade caravans. At sea, these packs can be used to gain damage and damage resistance against enemy crew members, as well as increase the search range of your spyglass. Cartography also gives you a 10% damage bonus in PvP, so it's not all maps and packs. To level Cartography, simply stand around making maps all day. It's a real hoot. Focus. Focus is a simple but powerful skill in Outlands. Whilst in PvE, Focus gives you a bonus to your melee accuracy, your defense, your swing speed, your charged spell chance, your mana refund chance, and your meditation rate. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. In PvP, Focus gives you bonuses to your melee and spell damage. Overall, this is a great skill if you're going out there and doing any PvE focused, get it, activity. It's raw damage, baby. To level Focus, you can just go and hit something. I'm sure it'll level up eventually. Forensic evaluation. Forensic Eval is a gathering skill that lets you carve up those nasty monsters you've been fighting. You can use it to carve up humans too, just don't tell anybody. Use a skinning knife on your fallen foes to gather leather and cooking materials. The higher your skill level, the better quality leather you can find. In both PvE and PvP, your Forensic Evaluation skill will also grant you bonus damage, so it's a nice skill to take and farm some extra materials, whilst dealing juicy bonus damage. To level Forensic Evaluation, simply cut up every dead little critter you see using a skinning knife. Item Identification, or Item ID for short, lets you identify magical items that you find on the corpses of your slain enemies. At higher levels, you'll also be able to identify how much gold the item is worth when sold to an NPC, as well as how much arcane essence will be gained if the item is recycled. At level 120, you can even use the skill on a container to identify every single item inside. Neat. Just like Cartography, this skill can be used to identify research materials. In PvP, this skill will give you a bonus to your damage. But wait, there's more. Item ID will also increase the magical properties of magic weapons and armor that you equip, so if you level this up, it might be worth wearing that blood-spattered helmet that you found in Ossuary. Just give it a little clean first. Or don't. What am I, your mother? To level Item Identification, simply cast Item ID on any piece of armor, even the same non-magical piece of armor that's just sat in your bag. Yes, really. Taste Identification. Oh yes, simply delicious. This is definitely tomato with a hint of paprika. What? This is pineapple? Damn it, Rodney. I asked for something red, not something poisonous. Now, where was I? Oh yes, Taste Identification. This little skill is packed with content. Using Taste ID increases the damage of your poison effects from spells or weapons, makes your poison effects more likely to trigger, and lowers your target's chance of healing those poison effects once they're applied. Why? Because you tasted all of those poisons, and now you're extremely dizzy, uncontrollably vomiting, and ready for action. Taste ID also increases your satisfaction from eating food, unless that food was made by Rodney, giving you even greater buffs from your delicious meals. You'll also gain a bonus to your herbal poultice's resistance to poison, bleed, and disease damage. Finally, this skill can be used to eat the mud from your plants and determine if it's the right type of mud for them to grow in. No, seriously. To level Taste ID, simply use the Taste ID skill on different food items. Just don't use Taste ID on your local innkeeper. Trust me, he doesn't like that. Alright, let's talk about combat. Anatomy. Anatomy increases damage dealt with weapons, your swing speed, and the amount you heal whilst using a bandage. If you have both Anatomy at 60 and Healing at 60, then you can cure poison effects with bandages, and if you have them both at 80, then you can even use bandages to resurrect dead players. No, Rodney, I can't bring you back to life, you'll only get murdered again. I know it was me that killed you, that's what I'm saying. If I see you walking around here again, I'm not going to hesitate to put you back in the ground. In PvE, your Anatomy skill will also increase the chance of you triggering a finisher from your chosen codex, and gives you a damage resistance to bleed and disease damage. Neat. To level Anatomy, just keep hitting things and using bandages on yourself. You'll learn how your body feels soon enough. Archery. Ah, the cowardice of shooting things from afar. Archery gives you access to use both bows and crossbows. Just don't forget your arrows or bolts respectively, and consider putting them in a quiver to lower your chance at consuming ammo on use. Leveling up increases your accuracy and damage in both PvE and PvP. Your archery special attack gives you a chance to hinder your target, preventing them from moving, casting spells, or attacking. The duration of this hinder effect is longer if you're using a slower weapon, and shorter if you're shooting arrows like a madman. Pew pew pew! When a target is hindered by any means, you'll gain a bonus to your accuracy against that target. Bonus tip: this hinder special combos well with lightning aspect, so be sure to check that out. Anyway, here's a sneak peek at the bow's codex if you want some ideas for builds. To level archery, just keep shooting things. Your aim will get better in no time. Chivalry. The Oxford English Dictionary defines chivalry as the religious and moral system of behaviour that the perfect knight is expected to follow. So, if you want to be the perfect knight, then this one is for you. Chivalry gives you access to 10 different spells that are cast by spending holy symbols instead of mana. These are great spells for any melee user to have. They let you heal yourself, resurrect others, lower the damage of different effects, and so on and so forth. To use these spells, you'll need a chivalry book, which can be bought from any paladin for 5,000 gold. Oh, noble and righteous are we, and yet we charge for the knowledge of our profession, you absolute swindler! Now, chivalry spells will not work in PvP, so this skill is geared towards the dungeon crawlers amongst us. It will provide us with a bonus damage dealt whilst we are in PvP, so it's not all doom and gloom. One of the spells, Sacred Journey, will also allow you to fast travel once your chivalry level is high enough, so this is a great option for getting around. Oh, and your chivalry level is tied to your tactics level, so if you have 80 chivalry but only 60 tactics, then you will only be able to cast chivalry spells up to level 60 until you level up your tactics as well. To train this incredible PvE skill, simply have a chivalry book in your backpack and then go hit something. Preferably something that wants to hit you back. Don't go around bullying the townsfolk. Fencing. Fencing lets us use weapons such as knives, rapiers, sabres, and even spears. This skill will increase our damage and accuracy with these weapons, as well as give us a chance to use a weapon special that will apply a cripple effect. This will lower your enemy's defense, which makes them easier to hit. It also increases the damage that the enemy takes from melee-inflicted poison damage, as well as any sort of disease. Here's a quick look at the codex for you. To train this skill, simply poke things with your fencing weapon. Just be sure to use the pointy end. Healing. Healing will let you heal yourself and your friends using bandages. The higher your healing, the more you will heal. It's all pretty self-explanatory. Be sure to pair this skill with Anatomy for the best results. At level 60 healing and Anatomy, you can use bandages to cure poison effects, and at 80, we can attempt to resurrect dead players, and even use the healing codex. To level this skill, just keep using bandages on yourself whilst you're injured. That's right, just wrap it around your gnarled arm. Ooh, That injury looks permanent. Mace Fighting. Whack. Ha. I love smashing things over the head with spiky metal sticks. It really is the only way to start the day. Now, Mace Fighting will let us use different blunt weapons. Maces are a little bit special, as they have a bonus to the amount of stamina that they drain from your opponents in PvP. So go out there and hit those reds with a big old metal stick. Leveling Mace Fighting will increase our damage and accuracy with mace weapons, including clubs, war axes, hammers, flails, staves, sledges, and all sorts of spicy weaponry. Here's a little look-see at the codex for you rapscallions, you. To level this skill, just go hit someone with a stick. I know you want to. Parrying. For all the shield enthusiasts out there, we have parrying. Although this does work with two-handed weapons as well, but it simply doesn't fit the roleplay that I'm going for. No, Rodney, you can't join my latest campaign. Stop asking. Parrying works with shields, two-handed weapons, parry daggers, and wrestling weapons. The higher your parrying skill, the more likely you are to parry, which reduces the damage of any attack done against you in both PvP and PvE. Additionally, you can parry spells too. Just hit the thunderbolt right out of the air. However, you cannot parry spells from other players. Parrying spells will only work in PvE. Players with the parrying skill may also use Taunt. This will, if successful, make all enemies in the area aggro onto you, or you can target the taunt at only one enemy if you don't want to aggro the whole room. After taunting, you also receive a bonus to your armor rating, so you should be taking less damage from all the beasties that you just told to attack you. Oh, and parrying also has a codex, so take a look at that too whilst you're out there holding your shield high. To level this skill, just equip something you can parry with and go start a fight with something devilish. Swordsmanship. Whoosh, whoosh. Oh, I do love swinging around a sharp object, don't you? Leveling Swordsmanship will increase our accuracy and damage with swords, katanas, halberds, and axes. Yes, in Outlands, axes are swords. I don't make the rules. Your special weapon attack with swords gives you a chance to apply a bleed effect on your opponent, but remember, these special attacks only work in PvE, so you won't be hitting that red player with a bleed from this mechanic. Here, take a look at the codex before we move on. Swords really do have a place in my heart. To level this skill, simply hit something with a sword. It really isn't that hard. Tactics. Remember that focus skill we covered earlier? Well, Tactics is similar. It is a simple skill that provides a massive increase in your weapon's damage. I can't recommend taking this skill more highly if you're playing a Dexer. Oh, and not to mention, you need 80 tactics to use practically every codex, so you're likely to be leveling this skill no matter what melee build you're using. To level tactics, just make sure the arrow is pointing the right way, and then go fight something. You'll be coming up with tactical plans in no time. Wrestling. Now, wrestling is quite a versatile skill, isn't it, little Timmy?
Necromancy.
Oh, hush you! So, wrestling is used in both unarmed combat and also combat with any wrestling-type weapons. Once again, this skill will increase our accuracy and our damage with these weapons. The weapon's special attack here is to apply a stagger effect on your opponent. When staggered, Your opponent will take bonus damage from weapon specials, weapon abilities, and weapon finishes. A higher wrestling stat also increases your chance to not be interrupted whilst spellcasting, so this is a great skill to take if you're tired of those spellcasts getting stopped in the middle. To level wrestling, just go and hit something with your bare fists or a wrestling weapon. Alright, time to move on to trade skills. Alchemy. Oh boy, this is one of those skills that is just too good for its own good. Alchemy is a crafting skill, sure. You can make potions and poisons to your heart's delight, but that's not why anybody in Outlands takes alchemy. Alchemy increases the buffs that different potions give you. Want your strength potion to last longer than 2 minutes? Take alchemy. Want your heal potion to heal more than 20 HP? Take alchemy. Want better odds of removing that pesky poison effect with your cure potion? Take alchemy. Not to mention, if you level to 80 alchemy, then you can stick explosive potions to your opponent without the need to cast spells. Kaboom! There's also a potion codex that you can take a look at once you've hit level 80. This thing is pretty spectacular. Here's an idea of things you can craft using alchemy, if you're into that sort of thing. To level alchemy, simply craft things using your alchemy skill and watch as your heal pots get stronger and stronger. Okay, moving on. Blacksmithy. Get out your hammers and anvils, folks, as we set out to craft metallic objects to our heart's delight. Blacksmithy lets us craft things like plate mail and swords. You can also make blacksmithy repair kits, which can be used by anybody to repair entire containers of blacksmithy crafted items. This will also provide a bonus to any armor you're wearing that can be crafted by a blacksmith. Lastly, in both PvP and PvE, you'll get a damage buff whilst using any blacksmithy craftable weapon. It doesn't have to have been made by a blacksmith, but a blacksmith has to be able to make it, if that makes sense. Anyway, level this bad boy up by smashing your hammer into an anvil near you. Carpentry. Have you ever wanted to whittle yourself a little bear friend, like that wilderness explorer guy you saw on TV that one time? Me neither. Well, you can do just that with carpentry. Here, you can craft bows, staves, furniture, really anything that is made out of wood. Not to mention, you can craft ship deeds, which you'll need to sail on the great vast oceans of Outlands. You can also make carpentry repair kits, which act in the same way as the blacksmith ones we talked about earlier, but for carpentry crafted items. Again, you'll get a bonus to your armor and damage in both PvE and PvP whilst using carpentry craftable weapons and armor. Neat. To level carpentry, just craft carpentry things. Make a chair or something, I don't care. Cooking. Really, Rodney, this pineapple was delicious. Yes, I hate you too, Rodney. Alright, cooking lets us make food, dyes, and even things for growing plants. Eating food will provide a bonus to your mana regeneration and swing speed, so it's great for both mages and dexers. Eating food also restores your hit points, mana, and stamina, and this restoration will be increased if you have a higher cooking level. But watch out, these restoration levels will be halved if you're flagged for PvP by those pesky red players. To level this, simply cook stuff, but I mean, try not to burn it, or you're only making us all sad. We see the burnt part of that meal, Rodney. Black olives. I know an excuse when I hear one. Inscription. This skill is great for creating spell scrolls, which you can use to cast spells without needing any reagents. This skill also lets you craft rune books and codexes. The higher a player's inscription level, the more likely they are to not consume a scroll while casting spells. So this skill is great for any budding mage looking to carry around a library in their backpack. Speaking of scrolls, any spell cast from a scroll whilst having this skill will actually deal increased damage in both PvE and PvP. This skill also provides bonuses to buffing spells such as Protection, Bless, and Magic Reflect. All in all, this trade skill is great for you library-dwelling magic users, To level this skill, simply write out a bunch of scrolls until your hand is numb and your mind is addled. Lumberjacking. Do you have an affinity for flannel shirts? Then lumberjacking is for you. Simply walk up to a tree with a hatchet in your hand and start swinging away. Don't worry about the birds that call those trees home. You need those logs to build boats and destroy the whale's natural habitat. The destruction of nature. Lumberjacking is very straightforward. You can cut down trees. The higher your skill, the more chance you have to yield rarer logs. You'll also need this skill to turn those logs into lumber for crafting. This skill also gives you a bonus to your damage dealt whilst using axe weapons, so there's a popular PvP build where you can bait those pesky red players to attack you, only to swing back with your mighty hatchet and chunk off half of their health. Watch as they run from you and your logs. Bards will sing of the flannel-wearing maniac that is bringing justice to those pesky red fiends. To level this skill, simply chop down trees. It's really not that hard. Mining. Mining is the same as lumberjacking, except you'll be mining with a pickaxe. Simply walk up to any mountain or rock face and start swinging. While lumberjacking gives you a buff to your axe weapons, mining gives you a buff to your mace weapons, so keep that in mind if you want to smash some orcs in the face whilst going about your business. To level mining, just mine. Why do I need to tell you this? Tailoring. Tailoring lets you craft armor, weapons, clothing, satchels, fishing nets, and all sorts of useless junk. Just like Blacksmithy and Carpentry, you can make tailoring repair kits, which will fix tailor-made items. Again, we're going to receive a buff to any weapons and armor that could be made by a tailor whilst we're using this skill. This skill also helps us with the real endgame of any MMO, fashion. We can use tailoring to make clothing alteration kits that let us change the colour of our clothes. We can also craft adventurer's rope, one of the most useful items in the game. Hey, look, I'm over here. No, wait, I'm over here. Adventurer's rope is pretty cool. Lastly, we can craft disguise kits, which are used by thieves to change their appearance in a flash. But we know that no one will make these to help those pesky thieves, am I right? Wink wink. To train this skill, just make stuff. It's really quite self-explanatory. Moving on. Tinkering. Tinkering. We all love making bombs before bed, right? With the tinkering skill, we can craft tools, lockpicks, jewelry, and even traps. This skill is great for making ground traps, which you can use to blow up monsters, or container traps, which you can use to set traps for your pesky thief friends. If you have item ID leveled, then you can also craft item identification wands, and with Carpentry leveled, we can also use this skill to make potion kegs. To level Tinkering, just make lots of stuff. These trade skills really are quite simple. Alright, it's time to don our wizard's hat as we move on to magic-based skills. Arcane. Arcane lets us cast spells whilst wielding an arcane staff. Just be sure to level Wrestling and Magery too, or each time you cast a spell, you'll have to drop your staff back into your backpack before re-equipping it. It's really quite annoying. Attacking things with an arcane staff will cause arcane buildup, which slowly increases your damage as the buildup builds up. Anyway, there's a ton of arcane staffs to choose from, but they're all functionally identical, so just pick the one that you think looks super cool. There is an arcane codex to use here, but it does require level 80 in Arcane, Wrestling, and Magery. I guess arcane mages are the ones hitting the gym with all this wrestling they'll be doing. Arcane mages also get a bonus to used arcane runes, but honestly, I have never seen anyone using these things, and I don't even bother looting them anymore. If you have a use for them, then let me know below, otherwise I'll keep thinking that these runes are completely useless. To train Arcane, simply equip your arcane staff and go shoot some bad boys. Evaluating intelligence. Wow, I think that guy is a complete idiot. No, Rodney, I wasn't talking about you. I was totally talking about him. Anyway, evaluating intelligence lets you look down on those that are totally more stupider than you, and it also provides a bonus to your Magery spells. If you want to run around casting spells like Energy Bolt and Flame Strike, then this is a necessary, or you'll be hitting things like a wet noodle. In PvE, when you're at level 100 evaluating intelligence, you will hit with 50% bonus damage, so start training. To level this skill, you simply need to cast spells on people, or monsters, or babies, pretty much anything that is breathing. You need to make it stop breathing, with lightning. Magery. This is it, boys. This is the skill you'll need to do pretty much anything with magic. Magery gives you access to spells. There are 8 circles of spells, that is, Circle 1 through to Circle 8. Circle 1 spells require 10 Magery to cast, Circle 2 spells require 20 Magery to cast, and so on. However, spells have a percentage chance to fail on cast unless you are 20 levels higher than the spell circle. So to guarantee casting a Circle 8 spell, which requires 80 Magery to cast, you need to be level 100 Magery. Get it? No. Great. Spells also require reagents to be cast, and you can find which are needed in your spellbook. Alternatively, you can use spell scrolls, which we discussed earlier. You did watch the whole video, and you didn't just skip to this point, right? Well, head back to Inscription if you want more information on spell scrolls. To train this skill, just keep casting spells on things. I hear people love tormenting the animals at Prevelia Zoo, and hey, I'm all for it. Caged torture. There's nothing quite like it. Meditation. Don't you just love sitting quietly in a meadow on a sunny day, listening to the birds call out to each other? Damn it, Rodney! You interrupted a perfectly nice meditation session. Fine, I'll get on with the video. Meditation is simple. The higher your meditation skill, the higher your mana regeneration, which you'll need to cast spells. If you actively use the meditation skill, then your mana regen will even increase by a bonus 100%. But watch out, there's a meditation penalty if you're wearing armor that is too unmage-like, so be sure to wear something comfortable on your forays. To level this skill, just keep meditating and regaining mana. You'll be feeling tranquil in no time. Necromancy.
Can we bring back my grandpa?
Yes, little Timmy, we can!
Yay!
Just remember, little Timmy, even though we bring your grandpa's body back to life, his soul will still be trapped in the unforgiving torment of hell. Aww. Oh, little Timmy. Necromancy is like the chivalry of mages. No, really, I'm serious. You'll need to buy a necromancy book from this strange-looking man that can be found pretty much anywhere you look. Your necromancy skill is tied to your Magery skill, so if you have level 60 Magery, but level 80 necromancy, then you can only use level 60 necromancy skills, so be sure to level up Magery and necromancy together. Necromancy uses unholy symbols to cast spells. Most people use necromancy to raise undead armies to do their bidding, but you can also cast some nasty poison and disease effects. And don't forget TikTok. Oh wait, I meant mind rot. Yes, mind rot. Just like chivalry, necromancy spells will not work in PvP, so keep your skeletons to yourselves, people. To level necromancy, just keep using Magery and necromancy spells whilst having a necromancy book in your inventory. Resisting spells. Alright, this one is basically just your magic resistance. The higher your resisting spells level, the more you will resist the spells. Anyway, this skill is great for both PvE and PvP. In addition to the flat magic defense you've gained from this skill, in PvE you have a chance to absorb a spell that is cast on you, reducing the damage taken by 75%, and also the first spell that hits you will trigger a Spell Siphon buff, which increases your swing speed, your mana refund chance on spellcast, and your overall damage resistance. Anyway, there's this big, complicated table which you can look at to see how far you want to grind this skill. To level it, simply let monsters hit you with spells, and you should gain some resistance. But beware, each monster can only give you so much skill gain, so don't linger on one enemy for too long. Spirit speak. No, Rodney, we're not talking about you. Anyway, Spirit Speak is the skill you'll be using if you want to use summons to do all of your nasty work for you. Spirit Speak increases their health, attack speed, damage, how long they stay summoned, and basically every stat you can think of. If you're using summons, then you'll want at least some points in Spirit Speak. Oh, there's also a Summoner's Tome, which requires 80 Spirit Speak and 80 Magery to use. It lets you level every single summon individually until you have 20 points to spend on them, so get grinding. I would show you the book in its entirety, but there's just so many pages. I think it best if you go look at it for yourself. Hey, I can't spoon-feed you everything. To level Spirit Speak, simply fight with your summons, or stand in your room continually communing with Rodney. I mean communing with the dead. Oh, shut up, Rodney. Okay, let's head into the wilds as we look at wilderness skills. Animal lore. Didn't we just make a huge guide covering this? Well, whatever. Let's do it again. Animal lore is how we look at an animal's lore. Simply click on a creature in Outlands and click Animal Lore to view its Animal Lore page. Leveling this is necessary to make your pets follow your orders. Otherwise, Captain Facemelter would run around burning down my in-room, and we can't have that. To level this skill, just use Animal Lore on any creature in Outlands, even the same one over and over again. Easy stuff. Animal Taming. Animal Taming is how we go around Outlands taming walruses and pigs. And I guess dragons too, if that's your thing. No, I wasn't talking about you, Captain Facemelter. Now, we can also use this skill to breed different coloured mounts and do all sorts of nasty stuff in the stables. If having followers is your thing, then check out my animal taming guide for this one. I promise you will regret it. Won't regret it. Won't. Yes, that's right. Anyway, to level this skill, simply try taming the various creatures of Outlands, and try not to get eaten for heaven's sake. Fishing. Ah, the smell of the water, and the splishy splashy little fishies. Don't you just love grabbing your rod and heading to the beach? Fishing in Outlands is a weird one. This skill is for gathering fish, but also works as a combat skill, so that you can wield harpoons and tridents. The weapon special for fishing weapons is Impaling your target, which deals damage to monsters within 2 tiles of the monster you're damaging. And if there are no other monsters, then the one you're attacking simply takes bonus damage. Whilst fishing on land, you can simply use a fishing rod and catch little fishies to your heart's content. And no, you don't need any bait. Whilst fishing on the ocean, you'll need a fishing net and balls of steel, because you are going to get murdered by pirates out here. It's truly a terrifying place. With fishing, you can catch rare fish that can be placed in aquariums. You can try to get a world record catch that the whole server can see. And there is even a Catch of the Week system, where you can earn points towards buying all sorts of nautical-themed goodies. To level this skill, you're best to equip a trident and stick it into anything that moves. Alternatively, you can head to the waters and stick your rod in, whichever you prefer, really. Herding. Herding is a simple skill. If you have tamed pets or summoned followers, then the herding skill will increase their damage and damage resistances. This skill really is necessary for any budding animal tamer, and somewhat necessary for any budding summoner. Simply stick a shepherd crook in your backpack, make sure it's active, and you're good to go. But watch out, some thieves like to steal crooks from your backpack, in which case all of the bonuses from herding will be lost. So be careful out there and keep an eye on your bags, people. To train herding, just keep clicking on the crook until your number goes up. Yes, really, that's all you need to do. Just set up a script and wake up to level 120 herding. That's what everyone else does. Tracking. Ah, the great outdoors. Don't you just love the smell of the fresh air? What's that? Oh, red player! Incoming! Quick! Teleport to safety! Phew! That was close. Tracking lets us keep an eye on those pesky red players and acts as an early warning signal to keep us safe. This skill is mandatory for the budding gatherer, as PKs love to score easy kills against the poor, defenseless miners and lumberjacks of the world. This skill can also be used to track monsters and pretty much anything else you can think of, but people only really use it to avoid red players. This skill also gives a bonus to your damage in both PvE and PvP, so it's not bad if you're looking to stay safe or even want to track others down. Veterinary. This little doozy of a skill lets us keep our pets nice and healthy. We can heal, remove poison, and even resurrect our pets using this skill. Simply use a bandage on one of your little friends and let the timer do its work. Tailors can also craft items called veterinary supplies, which can be used to heal all of your pets at once. Neat! Did we overuse neat yet? No, I was assured that you can never overuse neat. To level veterinary, simply use bandages on your friends when they're injured. It's time to stick to the shadows as we take a look at thieving skills. Hey, where did my potions go? Detecting hidden. Well, this is a diverse skill. Detecting hidden will let you attempt to reveal hidden enemies, let you detect traps on chests and remove them, as well as increase the damage dealt by your own placed ground traps. We can also use this skill to decipher research guides. I don't know why, it just does. If you plan on unlocking those pesky chests that you see lying around dungeons, then this skill is a must. To level this skill, simply use Detect Hidden until you've detected all that is hidden. Then nothing will be able to hide from you ever again. Hiding. Hiding is used to become invisible. This sneaky little skill is mandatory for the budding thief or backstabber. At level 100, your attempts to become invisible are guaranteed, so getting this skill as high as possible is advised. Remember, you can't become invisible if an enemy knows where you are, so be sure to hide around a corner, or a pole or something. Just be sure to break line of sight. To train this skill, simply become invisible over and over again. But be sure not to train this inside of your house or in-room, as you won't be able to gain any skill levels on this particular skill in that location. Lockpicking. Ooh, a shiny chest. I wonder what's inside. Oh, blast it, my lockpicking hasn't been leveled. Well, if you don't want to sound like me, then be sure to level up lockpicking to pick the locks on any chest you find, whether it be in dungeons or those pesky paragon chests. Remember to use higher quality lockpicks to get a better chance at progressing your lock. To level this skill, simply pick locks. Might I recommend buying one of these training chests from a provisioner? Just leave it unlocking overnight, but don't forget to buy enough lockpicks, you silly goose. Poisoning. Oh, the deceit of poisoning your adversaries. Truly a marvel. Poisoning allows you to place different levels of poison onto your fencing weapons, and swords too. Then afflict those poisons onto your foes by hitting them as hard as you can. Poison works in both PvE and PvP, but in PvP, your chance to poison your opponent is a flat 25%, no matter which types of poisons you're using. Your poisoning level will also change how your poison spell works if you're using Magery. With a higher poison level, you have a chance to increase the type of poison that you afflict to your foe. The default poison is regular, but you can level this up to lethal with 100 poisoning and 100 magery. There is also a poison kit that players can level, which acts as the poisoning version of a codex. I've not used this myself, so go check it out and let me know how it is. Sometimes you need to teach me things too, you know. To level poisoning, simply apply poisons to your weapon over and over again. Remove trap. This doesn't exist in Outlands, and has been merged with Detect Hidden, so why is this here? Nobody knows. Devs, please remove this stain from my sight. Snooping. Oh, what's in your bag? I would love to know. Let me just go and level my snooping a while, and I'll be right back. Snooping is necessary for players to look into each other's backpacks so that they may share in other players' loot without asking. Truly remarkable the things that Outlanders will do. If you're leveling a backstabber, then you'll need this skill when you first start out, but please look into the Thieves' Codex so that you can remove this from your build as soon as possible. You're not looking to join the Red Hands, are you? To level this skill, you'll need to find a pickpocket dip. There is one at Shelter Island, which you can use up to level 80. Then you'll need to find one somewhere out in the big bad world. Be careful if you're doing this AFK. Whilst you're snooping the dip, someone might be snooping you. Stealing. Ah, stealing. I simply love taking things from Rodney. No, Rodney, you can't have your teddy back. He is mine now, and you can't have him. Anyway, stealing is used in both PvE and PvP. If you want to use it in PvP, then you'll need to join the Red Hands Guild. For PvE, simply join the Grey Hands Guild. You can do this by talking to any thief in Outlands. You'll need at least 80 snooping in order to attempt to steal, so be sure to combine these two skills in your build. Once again, you'll want to get a Thieves' Codex if you're doing any sort of PvE, and consider looking into some backstabber guides whilst you're at it. It's a damned good build, and awfully fun if you're into the whole sneaking and skulking about sort of thing. To level this skill, simply use the pickpocket dips that we used for snooping. You'll be picking pockets in no time. Stealth. Well, I've turned invisible, but now I can't do a whole lot else. If only I had leveled stealth too. Oh wait, I have. Stealth allows you to walk around whilst invisible. Just be careful not to step onto anyone else's toes, or you'll be revealed, and we don't want that. Once you've turned invisible, using your hiding skill, you'll have to wait 10 seconds before you can attempt to stealth. At level 100 stealth, your stealth attempts are guaranteed, so you'll want to get this all the way up to 100. If you go further, to 120, then you'll also gain some extra stealth steps. Try combining this with Shadow Aspect armor, and you'll be sneaking around entire dungeons, and no one will be the wiser. Using stealth is necessary to perform a backstab. You'll need 80 stealth and 80 in your equipped weapons skill. Then simply attack a monster whilst you're in stealth, and you'll stab them in the back, dealing tons of damage. To train this, just keep using hiding and stealth over and over again. There are some great scripts for this, so don't do it manually. Just leave it set up overnight and you'll be skulking around Provelia in no time. We're almost home free, folks, but before we wrap up this video, let's whip out our guitars, saxophones and marimbas as we talk about bard skills. Discordance. Oof, your playing is terrible, Rodney. I do wish you'd get some lessons. You have taken lessons. Well then. Discordance is a skill used by bards. Simply cast this on a creature to cause them to deal reduced damage whilst increasing the damage that they take. Additionally, if one targets themselves with this skill, then they will give a damage resistance bonus to themselves and their allies. Just remember that this skill is capped by your musicianship skill, so if you have level 80 discordance and level 60 musicianship, you act as if you only have 60 discordance, so be sure to level them together. There's also a bard codex that you will want to use here. Simply level up musicianship to 80 to use it. To level discordance, simply cast it over and over again. Musicianship. This is the skill you'll be needing to play your instrument. All instruments in Outlands are functionally identical, so be sure to pick the one with the most annoying sound as you play it over and over again. You'll want to combine this skill with the other bard skills, as on its own it really does do nothing. All of your barding skills combined will give you different resistances whilst in PvP, but you'll need good levels in Discordance, Peacemaking and Provocation to make use of them. When you cast a music skill on an enemy, the chance of the enemy getting a bard break and breaking free of that skill is entirely based on the difficulty of that creature, and not your musicianship skill. However, you will gain a damage and resistance bonus against any creature that bard breaks, and that is based on your musicianship. Look, musicianship isn't really that complicated. Just keep playing your instrument over and over again. I'm sure you'll get better. Unless you're Rodney. Peacemaking. Peacemaking is a beautiful song that allows you to pacify your foes. This prevents them from moving or attacking you, and will suppress most of their abilities. It also grants you a bonus to your accuracy against that creature. If you cast Peacemaking as an AoE skill for your friends, then you'll receive a bonus to healing received. Once again, check out the Bard's Codex here to buff this skill. To level, simply cast Peacemaking over and over again and fill the world with your beautiful music. Provocation. Alright, the final Bard song to learn. Provocation allows you to provoke two creatures to attack each other. That's right, you can take two lifelong friends and convince them that they hate each other. Murder will ensue. Isn't music awesome? You will also gain an accuracy bonus against provoked creatures. If you cast this song on yourself, then you and your allies will gain a damage buff. Now remember, you can't pacify and provoke the same creature, so if you've already got the little monster under your spell of Peacemaking, then it's best just to leave it alone. But if you do want to cast Provocation on a pacified creature, then you can. It's just that the new effect will override the old one. To level Provocation, just keep making your monster friends hate each other. I mean, really, you're doing it for their own good. Thanks for watching. If you stuck around for the whole video, then wow, you really have nothing better to do, huh? If you learned something new, then let me know in the comments below, and please consider throwing your thumb at the screen so I know you mean business. Subscribing is optional, but free. What is it now, Rodney? Oh, leave me alone. I'm going to go and raise my snooping skills with my newfound knowledge. I just know these adventurers have something tantalizing in their bags, and I need to see it. Sir Shrimpington, out.